After a nonviolent campaign in Birmingham City, Alabama, Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested. While he was in jail, he wrote a letter to the clergymen of the community in order to address the criticisms that they gave him. King states at first that it's unfortunate that these demonstrations had to happen, but on a much larger scale, and what is way more unfortunate, is the power structure the whites have created in Birmingham. And this has left the black community with little to no alternatives. At this time, Birmingham could be considered one of the most, if not the most, segregated city in the United States. Police brutality and unjust treatment in courts were extremely high. For King, there was 4 steps for a nonviolent campaign. First was the collection of facts. Second was the negotiation. Third was the self-purification. And fourth was direct action. King tried to negotiate, and this did not really work with the clergymen, and after this he decided direct action was needed. In his opinion, direct action leads the community to have to address a certain issue, because once it is put out in the plain open, everyone is able to see that this is clearly affecting a community and something eventually is done. He goes on to explain how oppressors do not just hand out freedom, that the oppressed have to reach out and try to gain this freedom back. And this especially comes into play when he talks about unjust laws. The difference between unjust and just laws is the fact that in these unjust laws, the minorities have not even had the opportunity to vote on these laws. So how can they be governed by something that they were not even allowed to speak on? King is very disappointed that the clergymen look at his demonstrations in a way as extremist. He feels that that's completely wrong, that this is extremist. He sees himself as a person who is right in the middle, in between injustice and also extremists, people who are trying to use violence in order to get their point across. Finally, King addresses the clergymen of how he hopes one day that they could work together, and hopefully that racial prejudice will just eventually fade away.